Hey, I'm learning Unreal Engine 5. Today I'm starting with a blank slate and I'm going to make some kind of brick breaker style game. I'm going to create a brand new level because I want to challenge myself to create something completely from scratch. Let's call it level 1. Alright, I'm going to start by going to the primitives and just start playing around with shapes. I've never modeled something in Unreal Engine before, so I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see what I can get. The goal here is to create a really simple background that'll work for our brick breaker game. I'm thinking some kind of industrial metal, almost like that diamond metal plating kind of background, just to make it look like a factory floor or something like that. I want this game to be 3D, even though it's constrained to 2D directional movement, so I extrude the edges out here to give it some depth. I start playing around with the UVs because I don't like how the texture is stretched, and I mess around with the UV tools here inside Unreal, but I'm pretty lost, so I decide, heck with it, I'm going to start over. The goal this time around is just to create it as a single polygon. That way the UV mapping is all consistent across the whole object. I start out by trying to extrude some angles here, but I'm noticing they're moving in like a local axis direction. So I start over again, and instead of trying to extrude, I am basically trying to merge the vertices together. But I still run into the same extrusion problem. So at this point I say, the heck with it, I'm going to download Blender. I haven't used this in 10 years. I think the last version I used was 2.49 when it had a game engine still. But honestly, I was still surprised how much muscle memory I had for hotkeys and how to do things in the app. So at this point now, it is much easier to do the modeling that I was attempting to do. I'm sure it's just as easy in Unreal, but these are the tools I was familiar with. So once we get this all in place, it's easy to do a little bit of extruding. We create a face, and there we go. I convert the mesh to triangles, and now it's time to tackle the UV mapping. I know Blender has this smart unwrap, so we're just going to go with that. I apply a texture, but that doesn't matter. We don't need that at all. So we go to export it, and I select just the mesh and change the forward axis. And we'll call it level 1 background. Back inside Unreal, we're going to delete that monstrosity we created, and we're going to import our new mesh. I have no idea what these settings do, so I'm just going to hit import. Looks pretty good. We're going to add in a light to the scene so we can see what we're doing better, and I think it's time to add a material. So let's call this metal. We assign the material to the mesh, and now we just start playing around with the settings. For now, I'm just going to make really shiny metal because it looks cool, and we're going to worry about making something look grungy or dingy later. So this looks like we have something working here, but the metal has nothing to reflect, so I think it's time to build some kind of background. We're just going to put in a cube, and we're going to flip the normals around so that when you're inside the cube, you can see the walls rather than from just the outside. All right, it's starting to look pretty good. I mean, it's extremely basic, but this will work. In the next video, I'm going to add the ball the player controls and start getting some gameplay going.